that we usually get this sort of a pop at this time of the year from Apple.
Yeah, no question about it. The euphoria has begun. Apple Computer enjoying what many analysts say could become the company's strongest holiday shopping season in Apple's history, and shares are reflecting, well, this euphoria that we're talking about. So many analysts on the street say iPods are trending much better than expected. We could see another quarter over 10 million units. That could mean more than 40 million iPods sold this year alone, and that's on top of the 60 million that the company's already done. Not to mention what Apple is doing on the Mac side of the business. We are talking about a company that is surging. You're looking at the iPod there, but really this is a twofold story of what Apple is seeing on the music side of the business, and then, of course, the real excitement around the company's computers. Just an amazing sales figure when you think that Apple has done more than 1.5 million Macs per quarter for the last 8 quarters, and this quarter is expected to be equally strong. So as we approach Macworld coming up here the first week of January, January 9th is when Steve Jobs takes the stage. Really what we are expecting to see is a major initiative by Apple into the world of television with that little wireless gizmo dubbed iTV. There's a lot of talk about the new iPhone that's generating a lot of excitement. A lot of people are saying that that won't come out at Macworld, but maybe in an event, a separate event the week following. Just all of these little things are meaning that you're seeing this kind of reaction to the stock, and a lot of people are saying that Apple still has so much further to go. What we're seeing is really the beginnings of a significant rally. Aaron?
So, Jim, I want to ask your point of view on one of the big debates out there. I mean, you know, a year ago or 18 months ago, it was buy on the iPod and hope that other things come through. For example, you know, increased Mac sales. But now we're hearing, I mean, today the report out of Forrester saying when you look at the iTunes store on the web, sales were down 65% in the first half of this year. I mean, are we seeing a huge problem with the iPod?
Yeah, I got to tell you, Aaron, I've talked to a number of analysts on the street about the Forrester numbers, and this is leading to a lot of head scratching out there. People are wondering where the data from Forrester is coming from on this, because every other trend would seem to indicate that Apple, as far as the iPod and the iTunes segment of the company's business, continues to hum along at a very healthy clip. So the Forrester numbers are raising a lot of eyebrows. A lot of people are wondering just how accurate, and you know, Forrester does great work, and I'm sure they're basing this on a lot. We're trying to get in touch with them, and I'm sure we'll hear from them this afternoon. But you look at where these numbers are coming from. Every other analyst that I'm talking to on the street says really iTunes, iPod, the Mac, and all the things in the pipeline are looking very strong for this company.
All right. Well, thanks so much to Jim Goldman. A special appearance, those of you may have noticed. He's here, not in San Francisco or Palo Alto. And if you want to check out more of his savvy opinions, you can do that on our cnbc.com website, Jim's Tech Check blog. I'm sure he's going to be on there today as he gets more on this Forrester survey. But we want to bring someone in now who owns Apple shares. Connor Brown is co-portfolio manager of the Thornburg Value Fund. 2 million shares of Apple are in those holdings, $3 billion of assets. Connor, it's great to have you with us. And you're
nice to be here.
So you're a shareholder, and I don't know if you just heard Jim and I were talking about this report out of Forrester saying that iTunes website sales are down 65% the first half of this year. You're a shareholder. Do you put any stock in that? Does that make you scratch your head or fill you with fear?
Certainly, it's something that we took a good look at. Importantly, on the Forrester report, it was only based on credit and debit card records from about 3,000 individuals, so it was a very small sample size. There are other things that we look at that tell us that iTunes sales are actually still increasing. So
does that mean you are also increasing your holdings of Apple shares, Connor?
We do like it here. We think we've got good upside out looking over the next 12 months. Apple, in our opinion, right here is really hitting on all cylinders. And as you guys were discussing, particularly on the Mac PC side, as worldwide share goes from 2.5% today to higher numbers in the future, that's a higher profit margin for Apple than the iPods even. We think that could really surprise investors going forward.
Connor, what does this mean in terms of Apple shares? Last I checked here on my screen, it was trading at about $87, $88 a share. I know you said 100 plus, and you didn't want to be pinned down on an exact number, but if it encourages you to do so, I will let you know that Jim Cramer is putting a 120 on Apple. Would you be surprised to see it there?
That would not necessarily be too surprising to us. When we look at the forward consensus estimates, we still think there's room for Apple to surprise to the upside as they've done over the last couple of years. Also, when you consider the $12 of cash they have on their balance sheet, we think the value here is compelling.
All right. Well, we thank you for joining us, Connor. Do appreciate it. Connor Brown is with the Thornburg Value Fund. And while I'm here standing in this new place, because this is a little .com that I want to show you, cnbc.com, take a look at Apple here. Basically what we can do, and I know you can't zoom in too closely, but we've shown again a trend line. This is a one-year chart of Apple. All you got to do is click trend line and pull your mouse, and you can see the percent change over any time frame. 80% Apple actually has gone from its July low to November. I just did a quick flip here, and actually I'm showing you Apple versus Microsoft. Food for thought here. Apple shares since that low hit back this summer are up about 80%. Microsoft, for their part, are up about 35%, which is a big move for that behemoth, and that's all in advance, of course, of Vista. All right, up next on Street Signs, it's bonus time on Wall Street. We've got the latest